Today I'm gonna talk about derivative of composite function chain rule, trig function part 1. Now let's take a look. The chain rule. The chain rule can be written as the derivative of capital F fx equals the derivative of capital F fx times the derivative of little fx. Okay, here the capital F can represent any trig functions. For example, if capital F is sine, then the derivative of capital F here should be cosine. If derivative of if capital F is cosine, then the derivative of capital F is negative sine. If capital F is tangent, then the derivative of capital F gonna be secant square. Okay, and I also list some other formulas here that can be used to solve the following examples. Let's take a look. The second formula is power rule. Okay, x to the power n prime equals n times x to the power n minus 1. And here is a very special one, x prime equals 1, or the derivative of x equals 1. And the third one is the constant multiple rule. Okay, the derivative of k times fx, here k is the constant. We're gonna keep the constant the same and times the derivative of this function. We also have the derivative of sine x equals cosine x. The derivative of cosine x equals negative sine x. The derivative of tangent x equals secant x squared. Okay. Now let's take a look. The first example is very straightforward. Here, what is capital F? That is sine. Okay. What is little fx? That is is 2x. Okay. So we're gonna follow this formula. The derivative of this guy gonna be the derivative of capital F. So here gonna be a derivative of sine, gonna be cosine. Cosine fx is 2x. Okay, fx 2x, and times the derivative of fx. So we have derivative of fx. And now we can simplify it. Cosine 2x, and the derivative of 2x, we're gonna apply the constant multiple rule. Here the constant is 2. We're gonna keep the constant the same. We only do the derivative for the x. Okay, and the derivative of x equals 1. So we have 1 times 2 equals 2. So it should be 2 times cosine 2x. Now let's take a look. The second example. First of all, we can see that capital F is cosine. Okay, cosine. And what is little fx? That is x plus 3x squared. So we have x plus 3x squared. Okay, now we're gonna follow the formula. Capital F prime, that means cosine prime should be a negative sine. Negative sine. fx is x plus 3x squared times the derivative of fx. So it should be x plus 3x squared prime. And we can simplify it. We copy the first term, and for the second term, the derivative of the sum of the two functions gonna be the derivative of each function. Right? We have two functions. We're gonna do the derivative for each function. And now we can simplify it. The derivative of x is gonna be 1. And the derivative of 3x squared, we're gonna apply the constant multiple rule. Here the constant is 3, right? We keep the constant the same, and then we do the derivative for the x squared. And we have negative sine x plus 3x squared. We times 1 plus 3. And the derivative of x squared is gonna be a power rule, 2x to the power 2 minus 1. We have negative sine x plus 3x squared times 1, 3 times 2, 6x, 2 minus 1 is 1. Okay, now let's take a look at the last one. For the last one, we can identify the capital F that is tangent. Okay, so the derivative of capital F gonna be secant square. Okay, and for the little x, we can write down as bx plus pi x cubed. Okay, now we can write down the answer. So we have tangent for the capital F. Derivative of tangent gonna be secant square. Okay, and fx is bx plus pi x cubed, and times the derivative of bx plus pi x cubed. Okay, and be careful here, b and pi are both constants. Okay, are both constants. Now let's simplify this guy. Here is the derivative of the sum of two functions. That means we're gonna do the derivative for each function. We copy it. And for the second term, we're gonna do the derivative for each term. And copy the first one. And for the second term, we have bx prime. We're gonna apply the constant multiple rule. Since b is constant, right? We keep the constant the same, and do the derivative only for the x. Similarly, here we're gonna keep the pi the same, and we only do the derivative for the x cubed. We're gonna copy that again, and we can simplify it. The derivative of x, that is 1. So b times 1 is b, and the derivative of x cubed is gonna be power rule, 3x to the power 3 minus 1. Okay, power rule. We can simplify it. Bx plus pi x cubed. Here is b plus pi times 3, 3 pi x to the power 2, or x squared. Okay,